Hello, my name is Jane Lazenby. I'm an OCA tutor and I've been asked today to do some demonstrations to help support you through your Drawing 1 course with the OCA. What I've got today is a sheet of cartridge paper and I'm going to do some mark making. First of all, I'm going to use a selection of pencils and also a putty rubber. I've got a HB, a 4H, a 2B and a 6B. And we're going to really be doing some experimentation just to see what we can achieve with these pencils and the rubber. First of all, this can be very daunting. One big white sheet of paper, nothing on it. Where do we start? There. I feel better already. Now I've made some marks, I can start to have a little bit more experimentation. I'm really almost doodling, as though I was on the phone, not worrying about what I'm actually going to do, pretty much making it up as I'm going. So I'm doing some sweeping directional marks, and it's sort of turning into like a hatched area. Now if I press harder, I get sharper, darker marks. Now I'm going to try a few swirls. And I'm just layering the pencil over, pressing quite lightly and letting these marks, these lines, get very close together. Now I wonder what would happen if I just made some circles and faded them. So I'm really just playing. And what I want to do is to try as many different ways as I can and just fill this page full of literally doodles. Now that often happens, so I'm just going to change pencil. I'll try the 4H. Now a lot of you will know that the H pencils are hard and the B pencils are soft. So a H pencil won't give as dark a mark. Even if I press hard, the marks I'm making are not as dark as what I've got with a HB. I'm quite enjoying doing some swirls and letting my wrist relax. Now if you've got problems with wrist mobility, try and pivot on your elbow. And that means that you're not actually using your wrist to create curves. Now one thing I quite like doing is putting down soft tone. So soft tone is really when I'm not pressing hard, and I can use my finger to create a lovely soft edge. This is great to describe skies and skin and anything that you need soft shading for. And I can grade this shading by pressing harder and harder and harder. I'll see if I can get that even darker. And again, I'll see if I can smooth that together so I get a nice soft grade from the lighter through into the darker. Now I've got a lovely dirty finger. I can actually use that finger to lay down tone as well. If I was going to draw a child's face with no lines on, that would be an ideal way to do that. Let's see if I can do some little hard dots on that soft area. And soft dots going darker and darker and darker. So I'm now going to do an area of soft tonal shading here, and I'm going to see what that putty rubber can do. A lot of mark making are positive marks where you're actually putting down lead from the pencil. If I was to use my putty rubber, I can actually make a negative mark by pulling out some of this shading. Now I'm manipulating this in my fingers. It's a little like blue tack, but I need to get it nice and soft and then it will pick the lead up better. Press hard and I get a lovely clean edge. So if I was to do a sky with clouds, my clouds could be created quite easily using the soft putty rubber. Now I wonder what would happen if I tried to use the putty rubber on a really dark area. won't pull much out, but it has given me a nice texture. So I'm going to do a little bit more work here and see if I can achieve some different textures, maybe a little bit like tree bark. And then if I put my putty rubber into a point, I can use it with much more precision and pull out some little areas. Now it started to skid because the putty rubber's got full of lead. So I'm just going to turn it round, get a clean edge again. So that could be a tree. So I'm making it a little bit more tree-like. And I'm going to try some dots and some squiggles and just build up an area of texture. And that could be somewhere where maybe twigs come through and I could represent vegetation. I'm quite enjoying these squiggly marks, little zigzags. So I'll try a different pencil now. I'm going to try the 4H, doing the same sort of mark to see what difference I'm getting. If I can do some really hard ones. That's almost digging into the paper surface. And maybe try some circular marks. And then I'm going to see what the putty rubber likes. It just fades out. So that's mark making. Don't be scared and give it a go and enjoy your course.